Yeah, thank you very much for being here. Firstly, let me thank Mining Journal for inviting me. I'm very pleased that we managed to pass their selection criteria. I think it's very important because, being a mining engineer, having been around the block, I know how difficult it is to assess mining investment opportunities, especially in the junior space, which is very crowded. I'm the founder of Osino. I'm a Namibian. I've had quite a bit of success in Namibia before. I built advanced a gold project, which I ended up selling to B2Gold. They built a very successful gold mine. And Osino is really our attempt to do that again. So my title here, Building Namibia's Next Gold Mining Champion. Referring back to what I said about Mining Journal, what sets us apart is that we would like to think that we're very real. We've got a real project, we're real people, real financiers. This mine is going to get built. This isn't just to promote, it's just a question of when. At the same time, like many other juniors, it's not very well valued, and it's a great investment opportunity. So in summary, we've got a great asset. We discovered it ourselves. It's a greenfield discovery we made in 2019, about 15 kilometers away from an existing Anglo operation. So it was a real technical coup. We spent the last 2 years drilling it out and executing all sorts of technical studies to advance that to the definitive feasibility stage, the bankable stage, which we will achieve in about 2 months' time. We have a very accomplished team who are doing this. We've been on all sides of the table. We've built mines, found mines, operated mines, financed mines, sold them. I personally have had 2 successful M&A exits. One of them was in Namibia too, a project that I sold to B2Gold, and another one was in Ecuador where I sold the project to Ross Beatty. Ross Beatty became our biggest shareholder. He owns 12%. For the UK audience, you may not know him. He's a very credible Canadian investor and promoter. So he came in, and together with my money, my family's money, and some of the other shareholders, we were able to execute this exploration program that led to this discovery and brought us to where we are today. We have significant upside. We are lowly valued. I said that earlier, and so I think we're a great investment opportunity. In terms of the team, we do have some grey hairs there. We've got Dave Hodgson. He's the ex-COO of AngloGold Ashanti. We've got some credible fund managers, lawyers. But really the driver or the engine of this company is me as the founder, and my co-founder, Alan Friedman, is sitting over there. He's based in Toronto. He's the deal guy, the money guy. I'm the doer. I'm based in Cape Town. I'm a Namibian. I focus on crossing the T's and dotting the I's and fast-tracking and advancing this project. We are very proud about doing the right thing. We have a very strong social license to operate in Namibia. We are, without a doubt, the next strategic foreign direct investment project in Namibia. We've got a significant project that's going to get built, so doing the right thing and being seen to be doing the right thing is very important. And we put a lot of effort into this, and that's why the regulators like us, the population likes us. Basically, the whole country is behind us, so it's very helpful in terms of permitting and such like. About $150 million market cap at the moment, so we are, I guess, to some extent fairly valued, but we do have a very significant project which most of the investment world does not understand. In Canada at the moment, no one cares about mining development stories, and that's why we're in the same basket with everybody else, lowly valued, and therein lies the opportunity. In terms of the Lassonde curve, we're sort of at the bottom of that last trough. There's very significant de-risking that has already taken place, and this project, when it goes into construction and when it eventually starts producing gold, finally, I think that valuation will be reflected. Got a great bunch of shareholders, not just Ross Beatty. We've got the who is who of Canadian mining investment funds, resource capital funds, all sorts, also quite well represented in Europe, in Switzerland, not yet in London. So this is actually our first presentation in London. We're going to make a concerted effort now to reach out more to UK investors, because we think as a Namibian project, the UK is a more natural home for us. We've performed basically in line with the market. Lately, last week or two, we've started outperforming. It's been quite pleasing. Being in Namibia is special. Of course, I'm biased, being a Namibian citizen myself. Namibia, I always quip in North America because they always think they say, oh, you're in Africa. I say, no, we're not in Africa. We're in Namibia. So it really is a world-class jurisdiction. We've got a normal tax code, stable society, etc. You know all of that. But importantly, you can permit projects. So we've taken this project from discovery to just about fully permitted in 4 years. That's unheard of. You would never do that in Canada or North America. And that's why I argue for mining, Namibia is better than the UK or North America or anywhere else in the world for that matter. Jurisdiction, or geology, it's not going to hit you over the head, don't worry. So we are in an established belt, a mineralizing belt that is known for other minerals, copper, uranium, etc. Gold, relatively new. Namibia does have 2 producing gold mines. This will be the 3rd. I have no doubt that more will be found. When we started, we put together a large land package. We started with nothing. This was a dream. 6, 7 years ago, we did make a discovery, but we are active on the rest of the ground. We have one key project, the Twin Hills Gold Project, which, as I said, is at the definitive feasibility stage, but we are actively exploring the rest of the ground. We do have a couple of other projects. Plenty of exploration upside. I'll cut this short, try and allow some question time at the end. So lots of exploration upside. We focused completely on drilling out the discovery that we made, so we just haven't had the time to test all these other targets that we have in around the pit and also in the rest of the country. So just very briefly on the Twin Hills project, that's obviously what underpins our value. It's about $500 million NPV at 5% discount rate. Tom, you're right, we'll change that going forward, but it doesn't matter. It's a low risk project. It's been geologically, metallurgically, engineering-wise, largely de-risked. It's very consistent, has a lot of growth, and the economic numbers really stack up. Got very good returns on the cost front, all good numbers. Plenty of drilling. Not going to go into detail. We have about 3.5 million ounces of resources at the moment that will grow, but we have a very high conversion rate to reserves. So we've got about 2.2 million ounces in reserves, which is really the number that counts because that's what goes in the mill. Talking about the mill, stock standard, it's quite a large project, about $375 million US capital, and our market cap is about 120, which begs the question around financing. And all the studies have been done by top-notch specialists like Podium. They are the go-to mine designer and mine builder in Africa. And they did a PEA, pre-feasibility study, and now a definitive feasibility study, which is concluding in about 2 months' time. So in terms of the timeline, we discovered it in 2019. This really sets us apart, is how we fast-track this. I think there'll be very few other projects that have gone from discovery to a definitive in 3.5 years. So discovery in 2019, 20, and 21, we drilled about 230,000 meters. Then started doing studies, and I think by about mid-year this year, the project will be, call it shovel ready, meaning fully permitted with a definitive study, largely financed, ready to be built or to be sold. Because fundamentally speaking, strategically speaking, I do believe that tying up with a bigger partner is a better way to go. And whilst we are executing on our standalone plan, we are in active discussions. And as you can imagine, a project like this does attract attention from larger players. I'm not sure how I'm looking for time. Let me slide through this. So this, I think, maybe I should end the presentation on this slide. This is a slide on valuation. And the appropriate valuation metric to use for development stage mining projects is price per NAV. If you haven't heard about it, basically it means you take the market cap of the company and you divide it by the NPV of the project. And on that ranking table, if you look at producers, like the senior producers, Barrick, Newmont, they trade at about 1 to 1.5. They used to trade much higher, 2 or 3. But currently they trade at 1 to 1.5. The developers generally trade at between 0.4, 0.5, and call it 0.6, 0.7. And we're trading right at the bottom there at 0.28. We have re-rated a bit, so at the moment we might be slightly higher. But therein lies the opportunity. As the project gets further de-risked and pushed along the development curve, these companies tend to re-rate, and you can easily see on that graph that a double, a triple, or a quadruple is not out of the question, and that's really why we're doing all of this. So I'll end there. Thank you very much, and maybe there are any questions.